And good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. All of my LLG fans and all my LLG family, I guess I should say. I am so excited that you're here. This is Dr. Dwain Woode, y'all. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications. Go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted. That's right. Remember, you don't need superhuman strength. You need a strategy you can trust, a plan you can follow, and the support and determination to show up every single time. Whatever platform you're on, whatever city, state, village, town, country that you're in, I'm excited that you are here right now hanging out with me as we move into another week of our fasting. We had our flagship show, Dwain Woode MD Live, last night, and had an amazing time as we walked through some case scenarios that help you to understand how your body's working and to make some decisions about what to do in terms of your health. If you've not done that, you want to make sure that you get back and you watch that episode from last night and also from our Foundations episode that came out last week. I want to make sure that you understand that this is a space where you get to come so that you are being intentional about your health. Special shout out to our accelerator members who are out there. Thank you for coming through and hanging out with us as we move through the space here today. Well, you know, as we do, I've got my what I'm going to eat here off to the side that we're going to take a look at here in just a minute. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and we're going to take a look at some blood sugar. So let me get over there, and my Freestyle Libre. My Freestyle Libre just went out. As you know, we use two. I use a Freestyle Libre on one side, and I use a Dexcom on the other. So my Libre just went out, so I've got to change that. I don't want to take time to do that right now, but you've seen me. If you've not seen me do that before, we'll do that at some point, but not today. But let's go ahead and let's take a look at what my, this is my Dexcom G7 is saying right now. And you see it says there that my blood sugar is 122, so right about there. And then down below right here, if I do my 12, this is my 12-hour visit or 12-hour graph, I can put my finger, hopefully, let's see, there we go, and scroll across, and you get to see what those numbers are doing, okay, to where we are right now, down to 122. So we'll change the Libre here in just a little while to get that going. And then I love this because I get to scroll down and I get to see here is a summary. And so right there you'll see that my time in range is 96%. My average is 122. My glucose management indicator is 6.2. But let's go ahead and let's take a look at the 90-day average. And what I like about the 90-day average is that's where my A1C comes from, right? So that average of it gives me the A1C. And so I'm in range 96%, my average 125, and my glucose management indicator 6.3. So I can't call that an A1C, but it is an indication. If I were to get my A1C, that's what I expect that my glucose or my A1C would be, roughly about that time, that much. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to take a look now. Let me get rid of that. Let's see. Let's go over here. Okay, so this is what I've got now for, actually, let me do something because you can still see my, let's go back here for a minute. And there we go. Okay. This is what I've got for my meal. As you know, I eat my last meal after my lunchtime with my team. We have a meeting, and so this is what they brought in today. This is a bowl that has a bunch of, what does it have in there? So I've got some avocados. I've got tomatoes. I think this is some chicken, pickles, meatballs, what else? And then some kind of dressing. I'm not sure what kind of bowl it is, but it's one of those bowls. And that's where I have, right? So that's what I'm going to eat. here as we get into the rest of this day. So if you're fasting with me, go ahead and in the comments drop me if you're fasting this week. And it doesn't have to be a extended fast, whatever fast you're doing. Whether you're doing a 12 and 12, 16-8, 24, 48, 36, 72, alternate day fasting, time restricted eating, any of those, any of those types of things. If you're fasting, go ahead and drop me in the comments. And I see some of our community out there. I see Teresa. Teresa says, "Hey doctor, what's up, Teresa? How you doing?" Let's do this one and then bring you guys up so everybody can see. So say, "Hey doctor," and then Cornelia say, "Hey doctor," and Teresa. Cornelia says me, so Cornelia is fasting. So hey, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. All amazing community that we have, by the way, and always glad when I see you guys out there. So this is what we're eating right now, and so I got one me. So go ahead and drop me. If you have been around fasting, if you've been thinking about fasting, if you've been contemplating fasting, you're not sure about fasting, this is a great place to be because you get to come aside and you get to hang out with us as we are as we're going through this process. Let's see. I want to do something here a little differently. I'm going to change my scene. And let's see. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's do that. So make sure that you are joining us. And if you're fasting, you said me, go ahead and put how many hours you're going to do for this week. That's interesting for us to know. Okay. And while you do that, I'm going to, okay, there it is. That's what I wanted. Okay. So I wanted to be able to talk and you see the food at the same time. There it is. So let's do this one. Okay. All right. So that's my food down there. And then we're going to start eating. So I'm going to go ahead and start jumping into some of this. And it's off to the side. That's good. And I think this is from one of the Mediterranean places. But you know what I see under there, guys? Yeah, I see some rice. So, looks like we're going to have to eat the top of this. Now, let's walk through this a little bit. Our food process, the food that we're eating right now, there is no, I got to be careful when I say this. I'm trying not to use bad and good, okay? So food has a quality. Food has signals. And so what we want to use the best food for the signals to our body. Okay? Notice I'm being cautious in what I say. Because there are some things in this bowl that I am not going to eat, not because they're bad, but because the signal that they send to my body is not the signal I want to send. All right, so we'll walk through that here in just a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going to eat this meatball. Okay, so what do I mean by what I just said? I'm starting a fast today. I'm going for 72 hours. And I see one of our community members drop 72 in there as well. And so as I get into the fast, there are some foods that I can eat that will send a signal to my body, that will stimulate my appetite, that will make me feel hungrier sooner than I want. And those are typically the carbohydrates that are in the food. So I'm not eating the carbs, not because the carbs are bad, but because they're not sending the correct signal. Okay, so remember, food not only has a component of calories and energy, but it also has information that it sends to our bodies. And depending on what you're trying to send, you may not want that signal going to your body. Okay? Now, when I'm not fasting, there's some things that I eat that I don't eat during at the beginning of my fast. And for instance, you saw a couple weeks ago, I ate birthday cake. Not normally what I eat as I get into the fast or as I end the fast, because those will stimulate my appetite. Those will make me feel hungrier sooner than I want because of the carbohydrates. Okay? So when we're thinking about food, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're eating foods that align themselves, or foods that are aligned with our concept of balanced bites. Remember balanced bites? We want foods that are whole foods first, minimize processing, no added sugar, lean protein and healthy fats, starchy and non-starchy vegetables, leaning more towards the non-starchy vegetables, portion controlled, tasty and flavorful. So that's the concept of the food that we want to eat. Okay? All right. So notice I'm grabbing getting all of the vegetables, or as many as I can. Delicious, delicious. So if you are with us, or even if you're not with us right now, if you're watching this on the replay, and you're interested in fasting, want to know how can I do that safely, effectively, if you go to DwainWoodeMD.com, DwainWoodeMD.com/fasting, you can download a resource that I've created for fasting about how to fast safely. Okay? DwainWoodeMD.com/fasting. And then if you are, actually I think I'm full, y'all. If you want to have a structured way of implementing health changes in your life, DwainWoodeMD.com/briefs, DwainWoodeMD.com/briefs, or you can go to WoodeLifeDesign.com. WoodeLifeDesign.com, and you could sign up for our weekly health nugget that comes to your email, something that's simple and practical that you can implement on a daily basis. Okay? We will continue our fast as we go through the rest of this week. We'll be back Saturday night, 9 p.m. for Video from the Vault, Sunday morning, This Week in Review, and we'll be right back here for Dwain Woode MD Live Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Keep an eye out for that Foundations episode that will come out that will help prepare you as you think about your health as we move into the new week. So I see, so Cornelia said 72 hours. So she said me, and she said 72 hours. Cornelia's hanging out with us. So thank you for coming through. I am always excited when I get to hang out with you. As I say, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complication, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted. And the goal here is to provide you with a strategy you can trust, a plan you can follow, and the support to show up consistently every single time for those events, for those people that are so important in your life. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.